Alright guys, first of all, and technically right now we don't really have an official release date for this one right now. By Capcom, and actually following a monthly rumor, Resident Evil 9, or technically Apocalypse, which is a new entry with the same name as the 2004 film, happens to be in the making since 2018, which is 4 years already. The fine folks at the company, however, yet to reveal an official announcement for this one. My guess is that it'll actually happen by the end of 2022, and all we know right now is that it'll be a third-person multiplayer game, so keep it in mind.
There's nothing in this world I wouldn't do for you. So tear through the flesh and bone, leave me in the freezing cold, but still I won't let you watch me when I fall, when I fall.
Take a look outside. Did you know that they call Callisto the Dead Moon? Dead. Just like you would have been if I hadn't fished you out of that wreck.
Alright, coming up behind that, it's actually the Callisto Protocol by the same creator behind Dead Space, pretty much partnering up with the PUBG developers and Krafton. Well, believe it or not, originally even meant to be set within the PUBG universe. Thanks God it just isn't any longer. Instead, it is a science fiction based survival horror game, and one set in the year 2320, taking place on the Jupiter's moon on a prison colony now. The Callisto Protocol is due to launch December 2nd this year and releasing on pretty much every single platform, except Switch.
I just love that last part. Gives me chills every time.
Guys, Resident Evil 4 Remake just went on and actually got itself a few more seconds of gameplay, in case you missed it. For those of you who didn't know yet, the game does follow the launch of Resident Evil Village Winter Expansion and Resident Evil Reverse 2, which has been delayed so far probably 200 times or something. The Resident Evil 4 Remake, however, is in development for PCs, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, and now launching March 24 next year. Take a look.
It begins now.
Do you copy?
Howard Cross is behind all this. Come to the hotel, and be careful. It's very dangerous in the forest. We barely made it out alive.
What the heck is going on?
3 days ago, the earth shook. Giant spikes emerged from the ground all over the city.
Moving on, just so we get this one out of the way, because it's an actual hit this year, Eternal Evil just came out in its early access phase on Steam, and it's sitting there with a lot of positive review scores right now. It is not a free prologue chapter anymore, but a full game almost, and available for the price of $20. Not really much to talk about with this one, except it is a pretty solid, well-made game and a classic survival horror with a first-person perspective. Check it out.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? Please help me. I am at the police station. Over.
And what's gonna punch you?
will not betray my own kind.
I'd better die trying to do what is right than forget about my honor and duty while shivering in fear, waiting for my death.
Duty, honor, empty words.
At number 5, and first of all, y'all remember Made of Scar from last year? Just a survival horror game and stuff? Anyway, there's a sequel for that in the making by the fine folks at Wales Interactive, geniuses, if I say so myself, and said to be a co-op, technically a 4-player co-op experience called Scar Ritual. Here's how the game actually looks like, and to accompany the great news, the fine folks at the company said the new game releases on PCs, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5 sometime later this year.
You, who emerged from the putrid waters of the bayou to plunder our righteous gains and cut our throats like a demon in the night.
Moving on, we have The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners sequel, or technically chapter 2, I think it's called Retribution or something. What is supposed to be a direct continuation to the VR zombie survival game with more weapons, new maps, and the ability to explore the world at night, albeit with greater risks too. Well, here's a trailer for those of you who missed it, developers of which had to reveal a release date, but it is supposedly releasing by the end of 2022. Check it out.
When the bells ring, the song they sing will be righteous.
Moving on, we've got Project Z, so described by developers behind it to be a atmospheric first-person zombie co-op shooter, one set in the World War II era, where after waking up in a zombie-infested hospital, just like the Walking Dead series, you have pretty much no idea why you're even there and you just gotta get out of the situation. Here, this game's a PC and PC VR exclusive and due out supposedly in about a few months from now. Alright, I've actually mentioned this one maybe once, but just in case you missed out on it, guys, we have Propagation VR that is already available since a couple of years ago, and now a sequel for it in the making going by Paradise Hotel. Well, technically a virtual reality horror game described as an intense adventure VR story-focused horror game, something in the same vein as Lightly, though, in The Walking Dead's Telltale series. Check it out, this one's also releasing in about a few months. Year. Coming up behind that, we have Daymare 1994, Sandcastle, the sequel to Daymare 1998 by Invader Studios, in case you're new to a Resident Evil 2 inspired game tribute that's got its own identity over time due to the sheer amount of content and updates. The new game is now on its way to the consoles in addition to the PCs with additional elements, new puzzles, obviously, and improvements upon its original formula in about every single department we hear. Take a look. This one's set to come out by the end of 2022. At number 10, Ebola 3, well, pretty much as of May this year, has been one of the most talked about indie games, and one created in the same spirit as some of the greatest of classic survival horror games. As a first-person, Resident Evil-ish, kind of House of the Dead mix, but quite frankly, there's some interesting stuff happening with this one. Ebola 3 is actually available now on Steam through a demo and set to come out in its full in about a month or so for PCs only. Now, Blood and Zombies, on the other hand, is what we've come to learn as a hybrid of a tower defense game and a first-person shooter. As of now, however, the game is just simply a survival with a very well-done formula. If you just enjoy strategy tower defense, waves of zombie formula, it'll pretty much do the thing it's supposed to. It's got different types of zombies to kill, upgrades, and a good pace to it as well. Check it out. Blood and Zombies is available now on Steam through early access for the price of $15. The full game releasing, we hear, by the end of 2022. Actually announced kind of around the same time last year, not really sure right now, we have Requisition VR, well, technically the latest work of Hinge, in case you're not familiar with, a psychological horror game, once again, a survival horror game to be specific, and set to offer some 4-player co-op in a world infested with zombies where basically you'd have to do to survive with what you will find out there. Check it out. The game's set to be coming out September this year, maybe, and as a PC VR exclusive. Alright guys, at number 13, see, Nacon did also come out and announce, once again, a pretty brand new open world survival action game in the making called Paradise Project. They also said this: if you have ever wanted a zombie to just help you out at home, as a premise for a zombie survival game, well, technically that's what you're gonna get here with Paradise Project. This game's on its way to PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S early to mid next year, technically as a top-down open-world survival zombie shooter. Moving on, we have, well, what seems to be some sort of a crossover between the new Stalker and Chernobylite games, as a mix, well, something called Evil Next Door. Technically, a first-person survival game about some deadly new epidemic that turns people into just mindless maniacs. What we do know is that the game will support online play. The only downside with this one is that at the moment, Evil Next Door doesn't even have a release window. So just keep it in mind.
Alright, come on, let's move. Come here, it's not far. Be quiet, almost there.
And last but not least, we have, once again, No More Room in Hell, probably one of the scariest multiplayer survival games out there for the past decade, and a sequel for it in the making that now has the option of an 8-player co-op multiplayer. See, No More Room in Hell 2 is literally the sequel to the Source mod, a game I'd have to say pretty much in the same vein as Left 4 Dead or even the new Back 4 Blood games. Check it out. No More Room in Hell 2 is finally releasing for PC's October 31st this year.